I'm DaniElle DeLaite for HeyUGuys at the premiere of Stuber in Los Angeles. It's about to start, so let's check it out.
It was pretty great. I laughed a lot. I built a friendship that I think is going to last forever, as long as I live anyway. I learned a lot. I learned a lot from Iko and Michael Dowse and Kumail. So no, it was just, it was a great experience. It was also the hardest working schedule that I've ever had. So, because I'm in almost every scene. I filmed, we hit this pretty, like 7-8 weeks. So I'm sorry, are we moving on? But it was, it was a hard schedule. I learned a lot. Yeah.
It was the best. It was amazing. We had such a great time. We really, spent a lot of time in the car. We really got to know each other. Really learned each other's entire life stories and really each other's personalities. We really bonded.
Yes. And tell us just a little bit about the movie, a bit of a summary.
So it's an action comedy. Dave plays a cop who just got LASIK surgery, so he can't see, and he gets a tip that the bad guy's in town, but he can't call for backup because he's cried wolf too many times. He calls an Uber driver, forces him to go on this adventure to catch the bad guy.
Stuber is about Stu, played by Kumail Nanjiani, who's an Uber driver who is very in touch with his feelings, but a little lost in his life. And he meets Dave Bautista's character, who is very in touch with his anger. And it's kind of the two kinds of men we're dealing with now, sort of angry guys and scared guys, and what they can learn from each other. It's okay to be brave, it's okay to cry. It ain't that hard.
I was lucky because it's one of those things where I can just sit back and let him steal scenes, which he usually does. If you're familiar with any of his work, like almost every film that he's ever done, every scene he's ever been in, he steals a scene. And I'm okay with him stealing the scene because at the end of the day, it's going to be a better product. It's kind of the same sentiment that I had in wrestling. I always liked being the bad guy. I never minded somebody else being the good guy and getting the applause, getting the cheers, as long as we had a good match. If we had a good match, then I was happy. So it's the same thing. I don't mind letting him shine, let him do his thing because he's incredible. He's incredible at what he does. So if he's stealing scenes from me, I'm okay with it as long as our film's good.
I think I'm very good, but I get into pretty frequent accidents. Tiny ones, fender benders, but twice a year I rear-end someone or I get rear-ended, which is quite often.
But LA drivers.
Yeah, but I'm one of them. I think I'm part of the problem.
Tell me a little bit about your role in this movie and what was it like acting and also working as fight choreographer?
So yeah, it's really complex for me because it's not only act in front of the camera, but I have to think about the ideas, and we have to create for every single move for Dave, because we have Dave Bautista and Karen Gillan. I create for them, and I'm really excited work with Dave because Dave Bautista he's really wide and he's really tall, 3 times from my size, right? But you don't have to underestimate Dave because of big, but he's really fast. I learned a lot from him because he's a lot of experience from his life. So we shared, and with Karen Gillan as well. She doesn't have a basic for martial art, but she learned her fast.
And my character is Becca, who is Stu's best friend from college, who he's been secretly in love with. And I kind of just get progressively drunker on FaceTime throughout the film. It's an important arc. Now more than ever, we need to tell that story.
Well, when I read the script, I just thought it was so funny. It's really hilarious. And I love that my character, which I think in another iteration of this, in an earlier time, like Lethal Weapon or whatever, my character would have been played by a man. And, one of the 2 buddies would have been white. And, it's just kind of a fresh version of that concept of the odd couple police buddy comedy thrill ride. And I think it's so well done, and I think our director and our writer, Michael Dowse and Trevor Clancy, really rode that fine line of comedy and thrill a minute, but kept it new and fresh. And the fact that they go to a strip club, but it's a male strip club. I love that it wasn't the obligatory TNA. It's well, there is some TNA and there's also some other stuff, but it's not exploiting women, and I really like that. I just thought it was a very cool, fun. I know they're advertising very heavily to attract the male audience, but honestly, I really believe that women are going to like this a lot.
Emil Cortez. Emil Cortez has a little bit of a troubled past. He's a young man trying to figure out his way in life and gets caught up in a sticky situation. But yeah, no, it's great. If you really want to get the full scoop, come out and see the movie. Comes out July 12th.
What are you excited for fans to see with Stuber?
Me in it. I'm in one scene, and I made the poster, so I'm winning. So I don't care. It's a fun thing, you know. Kumail's like the funniest guy ever. Dave is a legend, and those two together in a buddy, comedy is perfect. So even if I wasn't in the film, I would watch it. So I'm looking. It's the first time I'm going to see it, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. Yeah.
Awesome. So when you're writing for a comedy, I mean, timing is so important. How did you go about composing for it?
Well, it's key. The key to a successful film score is true collaboration between the composer and the director and the editor and the producer. So I spent a lot of time at editorial talking to the director, talking about what he wanted to try to do, because as you know, like, composing for comedy is all about timing. And if you get the timing wrong as the composer, you've ruined the joke, you've ruined the movie. And this movie is so funny, it has such great acting that I spent as much time as I could with Michael Dowse, our director, Jonathan Schwartz, our editor, to really understand what they were trying to achieve so that I could really enhance the movie.
I thought the script was fantastic, and then the cast was ridiculous. And I'm a huge fan of Michael Dowse, the director. So kind of everything. I'm really excited for them to just see the chemistry between the guys, see the action. It's a really, really fun movie. And it's a lot bigger than people expect. There's a lot of action in this movie.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey